Hey, whippersnappers, it's Tortoise the Great, welcoming you back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown OU Battles. We're back with my newest OU team, and we're leading off with Willow. She's setting up the screens, and we're going up against Galvantula. So I'm pretty pleased to see how the screens protect her from like a Bug Buzz, which would probably one-hit KO or otherwise. So that was pretty cool. It took him like 3 turns to kill her, so that was great. And I was able to get a good Psychic off on Galvantula to make it real easy to take it out. Not that I would have needed the Psychic. The Bigwig would have had it anyway, but hey, whichever. Politoed then comes in, and I'm going to switch into Smog. And Smog is going to take a hard Hydro Pump. I didn't really think that through. I was thinking Drought would come up when Smog came in. I forgot that I had to Mega Evolve him first. But the screens kept Smog alive too, so that worked out great. And I was able to get a good Solar Beam and then Air Slash off on a Politoed, taking 2 Hydro Pumps. Smog was able to take it very, very nicely, so that worked out great. Sableye then comes in and is going to fake out Smog, which is disappointing, but, you know, whatever. This Sableye is actually going to be one of the most annoying guys on their team, which Sableye tends to be. He's a tricky little devil there. I get the knockoff off, and we're gonna kind of hang out for a bit. Shredder and Sableye. Sableye is gonna taunt for some reason, and then I'm gonna keep knocking off, and then he's gonna be like, "Oh, I got recover," and then it's just gonna kind of go back and forth for a bit. And so that's just kind of at a certain point. I'm like, I don't really need Shredder for anybody else, and this might be annoying, but I'm just gonna kind of hope that I can get somewhere with this. Because with him burned and almost dead, he's just there's no point in switching somebody else into a potential attack. So figured I'd just go for it. Might feel the need to set up the taunt here again instead of recovering, so that's fine. Shredder's gonna lose Life Orb and then burn damage here, so he's gonna die. At that point, I bring Bigwig in, and even with the Choice Scarf, Bigwig is outsped by the Sableye. So that's well, he's a prankster. Obviously, wouldn't he be? Sableye's got Prankster, doesn't he? So that makes sense. I switch Big right back out and bring in Quasi because he's got Water Absorb, which makes him immune. I'm actually thinking it might not be a bad idea to try Whoop Route in Little Cup again. Having Water Absorb and being immune to Electric, that could be fun. Anyway, totally off tangent. So they bring in Klefki and they start setting up screens. This is another kind of annoying exchange here. But I finally remember, oh, Earthquake's way better than the other, and so we do that, and Klefki goes down. So that works out pretty nicely. They bring in Manaphy then, and they're going to set up a bunch of special attack, Drastically Rising, Tail Glows, and Quasi's just going to keep chipping away. So there they go. They finally hit 4 times, which is the most you can do. And so they're healing up with leftovers a little bit, and Quasi's going to take an Ice Beam, which just 2% hangs on. It's going to get 1 last Earthquake off, and then, actually, is he going to, no, yeah. Oh, because Manaphy heals. So that's what happens here. We get a nice crit. Yeah. Woo! It would have happened eventually anyway, but it was nice to just speed things along a little bit. And then they didn't have Sleep Talk or anything on this guy, or anything to wake him up with, so not sure why you're resting if you don't have either of those 2 options, but that's okay. Manaphy goes down. Crit definitely mattered there, but I think the end result would have been the same. It just saved me 10 turns, probably. So then they're down to their Clefable, and I bring in Sulu. Sulu's going to get a good Brave Bird off, and then Clefable's going to go for the Calm Mind, which is great. No chance of Sulu going down there. And then they're going to forfeit, but after 27 turns, why bother I don't get these people. Why bother forfeiting at that point? It's not like I'm making them wait 2 minutes between turns. I'm clicking as fast as I can, doing what I need to do, and, you know, whatever. It would have been a win for sure, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, let's check out the next battle, shall we? Alright, guys, here we go. Battle number 2. Daniel Kun 90 here had a pretty cool team put together, so it was a fun battle for me. As usual, led off with Willow, and they use the U-turn and take Willow right on down, but she is still able to get her screens up, so that's perfect. And then they bring in Crawdaunt, and they start posturing with Crawdaunt and throwing up the dragon dances and everything. I bring in Smaug, as I tend to do, especially on water Pokemon seems to be the good plan. So I bring in Smaug, Mega Evolve, and get the Solar Beam off and take Crawdaunt right on out. So all that posturing led to not a whole lot, and then Noivern comes in, and I'm going to I switch into Bigwig here, which was a mistake. I should have gone straight to Quasi, and that's what I was thinking. Is like, should I do Quasi or should I do Bigwig? Well, I'll do Bigwig. Should have done Quasi right off the bat. Quasi's able to take the Boom Burst that killed Bigwig, no problem, and get the Ice Punch off and kill the Noivern. So, misplay on my part for sure. Then Staraptor comes in and go for the Ice Punch again, but Quasi just doesn't have enough health left and is going to go down before he can Ice Punch Staraptor. Shredder comes in though, and they're going to take Staraptor back on out, and he's going to get a good knockoff on the Sand Slash, which does some pretty decent damage there, about 70% give or take. And then we're going to get the Iron Head to finish that one off, so that works out very nicely. Then they're going to bring in Blastoise, and I should, at this point, in all honesty, probably have saved the Shredder for with his Iron Head for Gardevoir. But instead I left him in, mainly because he used Dark Pulse to start off with, and it must have been a misclick or something. I'm not sure why they would have gone Dark Pulse over something else. Aurora Sphere is what I'm thinking, yeah. But I was like, oh, well, if they don't have Aura Sphere, I'm leaving him in. But that didn't happen. Willow came in, was able to get a light screen up before going down, and then Smog comes back in and is able to Solar Beam Mega Blastoise into Oblivion, so that works out very nicely, or at least good enough. Mega Blastoise is down. Gardevoir's in. I get one more Solar Beam. Solar Beam? Man, words today. I apologize. Get Solar Beam off on Gardevoir. It was, I guess, my best option, I decided. Then Sulu's going to come in and Brave Bird, and then I'm like, well, crap, Sulu's low health and their Staraptors, you know, but we're pretty evenly matched, and I do have the Choice Scarf on Sulu, so, was able to make it. So, hey, you know, works for me. We were able to take them out, and they had a cool team, so I figured, why not, let's show it. I love seeing Mega Blastoise. I haven't really used one yet, which is a shame. I should really build a team around a Mega Blastoise. I should maybe make like a turtle-based team or something. I don't know. Well, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to keep an eye out for Saturday's episode of Road to Rank Little Cup. I appreciate all the feedback you guys have been giving me on last week's first episode, so keep doing that and make sure to check out. I know you normally don't get stuff from me on Saturday, but make sure to check it out. And yeah, anyway, I'm Tortoise Green. You guys have been great. Have a good one.